26th day of March, coming down the pipeline, and, well, we're getting there. How are we doing today? So, Latavia, I love what you're doing, okay? I just think that you're always trying to add new things. You're always trying to make sure you have something for everybody, and here we are yet again with this empowerment series. So, fill me in. So, I saw that April's the first month that we're doing this, but that's not it. This is going to go for quite some time, correct?
Yes, Jules Fair and I are going to be working together for the empowerment series. And essentially what it is it's 5 different weeks in April, and it's all experiencing different emotions each week and how those emotions can get stuck physically. I'm going to be doing yin yoga and some journaling reflection, and then Jules will be doing somatic movement to help release some of that emotion.
That's really cool. And now, how did this come together? And Jules is just amazing. I think that she does so much for so many people in the community, and I just love her presence, really. Her atmosphere that she brings is just wonderful, and to have that in a partnership with you is going to be just great.
It's absolutely incredible. I cannot wait. Jules definitely has an aura that's magnetic, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, so her energy is going to be so amazing to have. I've actually done the empowerment series before, but I've done a different twist to it. And so in the past, I've done it with a yoga sister of mine at RiverBend Yoga. We did an Ayurvedic spin to it, so it incorporated food.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I do remember that, okay. And how is this one going to differ a little bit?
Somatic movement.
Okay, you got to fill me in because I'm learning.
Yeah, so, and I would love Jules to be here to kind of dive into that a little bit more because that's her realm. But somatic movement is really all about getting out of here in your mind and into your heart and your body.
Cool.
And so from a very young age, a lot of us have learned to compartmentalize or separate our outer experience from the inner experience.
Yep.
Because of trauma or environment, things that have gone on. And so a lot of us actually have lost our ability to feel.
I could see that easily.
Yeah.
You get numb to it.
And so because of that, Jules's part is really going to be somatic movements, choreographed dance, to really incorporate feeling and getting out of the mind.
That's going to be just, to have that partnership is really going to make this such a success. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
And so this starts April the 2nd is week 1, correct?
Yes.
And it's 5 weeks back to back to back to back to back. And with this, how are the individuals that are going to be a part of this, are they going to be able to reflect almost, immediately after weeks 1 and 2 and go, wow, this is really beneficial to me?
I absolutely hope so. That's the plan. I absolutely hope so. So how it's set up is, obviously we'll start with introductions and kind of give people a moment to share why they even signed up.
Right.
Because the first week we were processing anger, frustration, and anxiety. And so really thinking about how those emotions have impacted them and why they're still holding on to it.
Right.
And so there's an immediate reflection piece.
I bet. That's what I was curious about, seriously, because I think so many people, especially, and not all of us, but there's quite a bit that we're so used to our day-to-day, and because we're numb to it now and we're kind of just programmed to keep moving forward and you've got distractions, you name it, but you just keep moving.
Yeah.
And now to be able to kind of be vulnerable in a way and open yourself up to having those thoughts, which I bet a lot of us haven't really done in a while.
If at all.
You're right. And so is this open for folks that have never done anything like this before? Is this going to be perfect for them too?
Absolutely. So there's
Super
no
cool.
dance background required, no yoga background required. It just come as you are.
And whenever you're preparing for this empowerment series, how do you prepare for it? Because I'm sure that, you're getting ready to lead the charge with Jules on this very emotional, really 5 weeks.
Yes.
Is there a way that you prepare to kind of instruct and be there to be that support pillar too?
That's a great question. I have been doing a lot of my own internal work. So I actually see Paula Moore upstairs for my own personal counseling. And as I've told you before in the past, I am a counselor.
Right.
And so how I prepare for this personally is doing my own grounding, my own self-care. Because I've struggled with these emotions myself, and which is one of the reasons why I wanted to share this space with the whole community, because I do know it's needed. As far as putting the whole workshop and things together, I look at it from a holistic approach, how these emotions get stuck, but also from a clinical perspective, how these emotions are showing up in my clients right now, and how those two things can actually be correlated.
Well, and that's why I think this is such a benefit to really anybody, because you're not only getting, the great, teaching, but you're also getting somebody in both of you that truly have lived this and know it. You're getting, I hate to use the word expert, but that's what you and Jules are. I mean, you really are experts in this realm, and to be able to know that, hey, I'm learning from somebody that practices what they're teaching. It's not just, hey, go do this and don't worry about what I'm doing.
Yes.
You actively live this. And to me, if I want to learn how to do it the right way, I want to learn from somebody that actively does it each and every day, along with what Jules does too.
That's relatable and has lived experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I really am 100% in. Now, how have reactions been so far to the event? Pretty good?
Yes. So Jules and I really wanted an intimate, quaint, kind of small, cozy space. We didn't want to open it up to the whole world.
Right.
We do.
Right.
But we really wanted to start off small because, like you mentioned, CJ, these emotions are intense.
They are. Yeah.
And so that can be in a very vulnerable place for people to talk about with complete strangers. And so we had a max of 25. And right now we've sold 14 tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Mm-hmm. And how much longer do people have the opportunity to get those tickets?
Until April 1st. Oh.
She's making it easy for everybody. Look at that. Well, and what I think's great, now I wanted to ask you about this, is the whole series $20?
Each workshop.
Okay, each workshop. Mm-hmm. So can folks select all of the workshops, or can they select maybe ones that they think that, hey, maybe I need to work on this more than the other?
Yeah, so all of the events are posted on Eventbrite, and you can choose each one, or you can choose just the ones that really speak to you.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I really do. And now the first one covers fear, anxiety, and restlessness.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that 90% of this community is probably experiencing all of those feelings and not knowing maybe A, what they are, B, how do we deal with them, and C, how do I stay productive while dealing with all of this too?
Yeah, how do we navigate through it?
Yeah.
I want to circle back to something that you just said. It's very important. Actually being able to identify them correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Huge. 100%. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure in your background that you've encountered folks that maybe misdiagnose something and not realize, the damage mentally that could cause too. Because if you're preparing that, I have this and this and this, then your whole way of life changes to cater to that, or maybe to adapt to it more is the proper word, and you aren't really fixing what you initially needed to.
Exactly.
Wow.
A prime example of that would be, if I could share about myself, I was diagnosed a long time ago when I was seeing, counselors and all of these things with major depressive disorder. Mm-hmm. But come to find out, I actually struggled with ADHD.
Oh, well, that's a pretty big change.
Huge change.
Yeah.
And what I learned was I was incorrectly identifying those emotions, and so that was leading to my misdiagnosis.
Okay, now I'm starting to really pick this together here. That's really fascinating. And I hate, with you living through this, take me through the moment you started to understand that, okay, maybe this wasn't the right diagnosis. Did that trajectory change for you pretty substantially when you were able to start tackling what the real, I guess not issue, but the real situation was?
The real problem,
yeah.
Absolutely. It's changed the whole course of my life.
Yeah.
Because I was moving, what I share with people is our energy goes where our attention flows.
Uh-huh.
And so if our energy is constantly focused on something so heavy or dense, because I don't want to call it negative, but so heavy or dense, that's all we're going to focus on.
Right.
And so if my energy was constantly being told, you're depressed, I'm going to believe I'm freaking depressed.
Right. Right.
when I really, I was experiencing some depression symptoms. However, I wasn't depressed. Mm-hmm. I was experiencing hard ability to focus, inability to concentrate, executive dysfunction, task initiation. I was having such a hard time initiating tasks, and then that was causing anxiety and fear and restlessness and anger and rage, and I wasn't freaking depressed. I was struggling with ADHD. Mm-hmm. And so that is, to answer your question, yes, that has changed the whole trajectory of my healing and my life. And so I really am hoping, and that's why I called it the Empowerment Series, because feeling these emotions are truly healing. You have to feel it in order to heal. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we're just repeating the pattern by pressing it down and numbing ourselves.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about that before.
I rip that sucker off. Well, and that's 100%. And before we take a break, because I want to keep talking about this, because this is so cool, where are all the series, or where are all the classes going to be held at?
At the Healing Haus.
Oh, perfect. And that's just right up there in Milton. What are you on the first floor of Milton?
I am on the third, on the south wing. So
Okay.
we are down the hall from Warhead's Hobbies.
I love it. This is great. And tickets, folks, are $20 per class, per
yes.
session. And you can get them all on Eventbrite. But we got to take a quick break. But before I do have to fill you in on one of my brand new segments that we started doing about 2 months ago with Centerstone, because mental health matters, and so does substance use disorder treatment and plans. That maybe you don't need this information now, but when you do need it, you know where to find it. You don't have to spend days and weeks searching, and how hectic that could be when you're already in crisis.
Yeah.
And that's why I really appreciate Centerstone's time. And if you're looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery, a life free from addiction is possible, and it really starts at Centerstone. Centerstone's a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages, because it can happen to anybody. With a commitment to delivering care that changes people's lives, this is what I like about this. Centerstone's dedicated clinicians, they use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs. So what this means for the folks at home is that the recovery care plan that's developed for you is based on the latest science, not the, well, we did this for 10 years, so let's just keep doing it.
Right.
You know, it's made for you. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, folks, but one thing you can know is that Centerstone will be a constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Listen, addiction can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today. Or if you know somebody that may be experiencing some issues, and you might be able to gather this information and help them whenever they're ready, 1-877-HOPE-123. That's 1-877-HOPE-123. Or visit recoverwithus.org, or hang out with Centerstone on the first and last Wednesday of each month as we tackle this very important topic.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
10:27. She's great, by the way. Ever seen Stevie Nicks in concert? Wonderful. Coming to the Enterprise in May, but you know, I got to refinance my house to afford that one. I saw her once. That's all that I needed to. ELO though. Jeff Flynn, telephone line coming in. a lot of good shows and a lot of good series coming down into the Empowerment series hitting in April. This is great. 5 weeks, it's hitting us. And it's back, it's every Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
Same time, same bat channel?
Yep.
Perfect. And now take me through the upcoming classes and what they tackle, because we know what the first one is, and overcoming restlessness, fear, anxiety. What are the other ones?
So we have anger, frustration, and resentment. That's going to be week 2. And then sadness, shame, and guilt for week 3. Week 4 is going to be self-doubt, insecurity, and inferiority. And then the last week is jealousy and envy.
Wow. Well, I can tell you week 4, I'm definitely kind of going to have to go over there and check it out, because insecurity is definitely a big part of my day-to-day life. And I'm honest about it. You know, it's just, how do you tackle it?
It's tough. First, you have to figure out where the root is, what you're insecure about, and who told you the story.
Ah, okay. No, I don't. Well, see, not enough about me. We'll talk about this in the class. But you know, and honestly, those are questions that I don't really know. And now that you said that, the reason I can't answer them is because I really can't think of the reason just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you have to also be kind to yourself and compassionate, because when we live in a society of social media, constant comparisons, this conditioning, it's hard to unprogram. And so sometimes it doesn't have to come from any place. It can just be our environment.
Well, that's true, too. I completely can see that. And when you were talking with Jules about this, how quick was the decision made to let's get going?
I've always wanted to collab with Jules. I mean, it's a freaking dream. Like,
right.
Because of her energy, her aura, the things that she offers. I, too, have a dance background, and so I was just drawn. You know, when I created the Healing Haus, the first thing I did, CJ, was future collaborations. And I wrote down every single person I would love to share space with, and Jules was top 3.
That's awesome.
So it was a no-brainer for me. I reached out to her, and she was like, hell's bells, let's do it. And so we had like maybe an hour meeting. Hey, this is what I want to do. This is what she wanted to do. Piece cake, piece pie.
That is so cool. And now, how is the dynamic going to work in the space during the sessions? Because that's what I'm curious about, because with 25 people, I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities to really share and feel and really be in a safe space to be vulnerable. How are you and Jules going to interact and intertwine throughout those sessions, that breakdown?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, we'll start with the introductions and sort of, I guess, a little icebreaker on, hey, why you chose this class. Then we'll move into a few minutes just to kind of reflect, because that's intense sharing.
Right.
Then I'll go into the yen yoga.
Okay.
For the somatic release. And then Jules will do the dancing, and then we'll have journaling and reflection after.
That's really cool. And now, how long does each session take?
It's from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Oh, nice. So you're getting a really good opportunity to go in and delve into this.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, for $20, you get 2.5 hours of nonstop growth. You know?
Yeah.
I love it. And now, which one are you looking forward to the most, or most fascinated about? Because I'm sure that you go about this a different way, and because for us, we're thinking for ourselves, but for you, for the class, what do you think is going to be the most interesting, the most intriguing?
For me personally, I can't speak to the whole community, but I really want to say all of them.
It's like asking what your favorite kid is.
For me, exactly. How do you choose? For me, week 2 and week 3. Week 2 is anger and, you know, that... resentment.
That's a huge thing.
Yes, and the reason I'm really intrigued with that is because, to be quite frank with you, that's all I've ever felt my whole life.
Oh.
Is anger and rage.
Really?
Because I've internalized, and I've never been able to really get into my body. This is something that's also new for me. And so with society and these standards, anger and rage are socially accepted to feel first.
That's true. You're 100% right.
And so sometimes for me personally, that's my go-to. I just 0 to 60, anger and rage. But what I tell you, working through the somatic stuff, working with my counselor, being a counselor myself, I've noticed that I'm not really angry. I'm sad.
Yeah, right.
And so you have to peel apart and correctly identify the emotions that are happening in order to say, oh, this is what's happening. Right? So I think that's fascinating, but also shame and guilt.
Yeah. 100%, because I think those two, like whenever you were saying them, those two alone are going to be
Huge.
just huge, because there's so many families and relationships that are ruined because of the anger, the resentment that's set forth, and it lasts not just for that tenure, it lasts generations.
Yeah.
When you have cousins maybe never seeing another side of the family because of resentment and anger, or even friendships that just die and right there on the vine because of something that was built up and internalized and was kind of let out. And I think that's huge for so many people, and that's something that doesn't matter how old you are, it affects you, regardless of if you're 12 or if you're 92.
Yes.
It's still there.
But I think another important piece is, yes, what it's doing to the relationships, but what it's doing to you.
Right, true.
And so physically, I'm speaking. Anger and resentment, there's actually been studies that state if you're holding on to that for long periods of time, it leads to cancer.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There's been numerous research studies that have proved anger and resentment, you're holding on to those emotions. When you think about being angry, CJ, what happens to your body?
It pretty much shuts down.
You
Yeah,
shut
it
down,
tenses up. And,
but you
yeah.
tense up, right? And so your central nervous system is in the state of shock. When the central nervous system breaks down, other ailments are welcome to come in. And so physically, these emotions, it's very important to release. And so I think that's why this, even if we have one ticket, I don't care. Someone has to know how to start feeling inside.
It takes a little bit to gain a lot.
Yes.
And if there's 25 in there, in your classes, if it all goes well, or maybe if there's just 14 or 20, whoever's watching this gets a part of it. It starts there, and then it keeps growing for more opportunities to do these same classes with new folks and help teach these skills to the entire region.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's how you get it done, and that's what I love about it. Is it seems like both of you guys, you and Jules both, are very committed to not just doing one series, but maybe if this goes well and more people are interested, doing more of them.
Oh, absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
it. Well, and now take me through as an individual going. Maybe we'll just leave it as never gone and done this before. This is, kind of something new, but we maybe have been feeling a way that we got to start doing something. It's time to make a decision and make that change. What's the best advice you could give somebody that's never done one of these classes, that's getting ready to come into your doors, to get prepared for it?
Why do you want to stay stuck?
There you go.
Why do you want to stay stuck?
Right.
And what I share with people from a clinician standpoint at Calm Waters, I often tell people we don't change because of three things: loss, process, and outcome. It all leads to self-sabotage. Say you and I smoke weed together, okay? And we're best friends, and I want to quit, but you don't. That loss is going to prevent me from changing.
It's true.
I'm afraid I'm going to lose you, something, someone, or myself, so I'm going to stay the same.
It makes sense.
And then process, the act of changing itself is hard, so sometimes we stay the same. So for instance, if I want to lose weight, it's a lot easier to go through that Wendy's chicken nugget line than it is to meal prep, go to the gym, do all the things, right? So that process is hard, so I stay the same. And then the outcome, we don't know what it looks like on the other side, so we're afraid of that. We don't have control in the future. We don't have control in the unknown. So loss, process, and outcome. What I will share to someone who's afraid is, what are you afraid to lose? What are you afraid to process? What outcome are you afraid to face? And do you want to stay there?
I couldn't have said it better myself. That was pretty much all the boxes checked right then and there. Well, what's the best way for people to stay up to date on these classes, to get all this information? Is it your Facebook page?
Facebook, I have Instagram. We also have Linktree, both myself and Jules. It can be found everywhere.
And then one final time, folks, if you're just tuning in for the first time, the Empowerment Series starts April the 2nd, but it goes 5 weeks consecutively, each on a Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
6 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. over there at the Healing Haus, right there at that beautiful Milton Schoolhouse on the 3rd floor of the South Wing.
Yeah.
I'm starting to remember this type of stuff. At 10:36, is there anything else we haven't talked about yet?
I think that's it.
There we go. I hope that so many of you, there's 9 tickets left. Get those tickets, be a part of it, and really just help yourselves. And that's really all I can kind of add to it. Thank you so much for your time, and you're always welcome back.
Thank you.
10:37, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out on a Tuesday morning on RiverBender.com.